My email marketing isn't getting through. What can I do? Okay, in this video we're going to look at the reasons why your email marketing may not be getting through. We're going to focus on bounces. There are two types of bounces. We're going to look at each one, we're going to understand what it is, and then we're going to look at what we can do to rectify the situation. Okay, so there are two types of bounces that you may see when looking at your analytics. First one is a soft bounce, second one is a hard bounce. We're going to look at each one now. Okay, so the first one is a soft bounce. A soft bounce is a failure message which in most cases indicates a temporary failure. This means that the domain may be live, but for some reason the mailbox may not be accepting emails. Now this could be for a number of reasons. It could be a server outage at your recipient's end. It could be that their mailbox is full at the moment. Or it could be volume. It could be that you're sending to quite a few mailboxes in the same domain, and the recipient's gatekeeper has picked this up and is bouncing them because they may think it looks like an attack of some kind. The sending server may be rejecting what you're sending because of spam content in either the body of the email or the subject header line. The recipient's mail server may be rejecting your send because of a low sender score of your sending server. Okay, next up, let's look at a hard bounce. Now, a hard bounce is classed as a permanent failure. Means however many times you try to send it, it's not going to get through. So what are the likely reasons for a hard bounce? Well, the most common one is a typo in the address. It could be that when you've entered an email address that you've collected from your website, for example Gmail, you may have miskeyed it and the domain may be spelt wrong. So that isn't going to get through however many times you try, so that's a hard bounce. It also could be a dead domain name. It may not exist anymore. When a customer signed up to receive your marketing via your website, it could be that now perhaps their business is no longer trading, perhaps the domain has expired and it's not been renewed. But again, no matter how many times you send it, it isn't going to get through. It also could be a server configuration issue. When sending to larger companies, for example, they may have a fairly complicated server setup in how it routes emails out to various different mailboxes. Now, if this isn't configured properly at your recipient's end, this could also result in a permanent failure. Okay, so the next area that we want to look at, now that we've got an understanding of what's a soft bounce and what a hard bounce is, what effect does it have on the success of your future marketing? Does it have an effect? Well, yes, it can. It can have a big effect. The first one really is that if you're sending through to your list and not a lot of these are getting through because they're bouncing, it means that these people aren't seeing your sales message. So no matter how much time and effort you've put into creating the perfect email marketing campaign, if these people aren't seeing your campaign, they're not going to buy from you. So yes, that's an effect. Now, bounces will also have a cumulative negative effect on the reputation of your sending server. Now, every sending server has a percentage score attached to it that your recipient server will see when it receives your email and is making the decision on whether or not to receive it. If there's a high number of bounces, and if nothing happens with these bounces, then the recipient's mail server will look at that and the sending score can come down because a decision is made that perhaps the marketing is out of date or the list is not very good because not a lot of it's getting through. So that can have a cumulative negative effect, and a low sending score means that your marketing will not get through as much as it really ought to. Okay, so the next area that we can look at is how can I minimize the amount of bounces? What action can I take at my end to make sure that my bounces is kept to an absolute minimum? Okay, the first thing you can do is remove all hard bounces from your email database. As we've discussed, these are a permanent failure, so it doesn't matter if you send to them again, they're not going to get through. So go through your data and remove all of these after each send. Now, if you're using a decent email marketing software, then generally this is all automated. It's all done for you, so it's nothing that you would need to worry about. Okay, the next thing that you could do is you could try sending to your soft bounces over a timed period. So you could try them in a couple of days, for example. As we discussed, a soft bounce is a temporary failure. Mailbox might be full, server might have an outage at the point of sending. So it means that if you try it again, it may get through Again, if you're using decent email marketing software, this will all be taken care of for you. Good software will have an automated send to send out again over a timed period to your soft bounces. Okay, the next thing that is important to do is to ask your service provider, or the people that provide your email marketing platform, to keep you aware of the percentage score of the sending server. It's really important to know this because you can look at any trends. If it starts to dip, if the percentage comes down, then you know that you've got an issue and you can start to look at it, so you're taking action before it becomes a problem. Now, the next thing that you can do is to make sure that what you're sending is inbox friendly. What we mean is that it doesn't contain any spam words or spam phrases. Look at your body text, what you're sending, look at your subject header line. Now again, decent email marketing software will automate all of this for you. In our software, Email Blaster, for example, we've got a pre-flight checker. So at the press of a button, the software will read what you're sending, it will cross-check it against a database of known spam phrases, and it will let you know if you've got any phrases in your document that it thinks you need to change. The next thing you can do is you can scan your list for obvious typos. Again, using the Gmail reference, just make sure, cast your eye through your list and look for anything obvious, like a misspelling of Gmail, for example. Also, make sure that your list is double opt-in. Now, what we mean by this is if you put a sign-up form on your website, if I ask to join your website mailing list, I receive an email from your website, I have to respond to it before I'll be added to your list. Now, how this helps is it verifies that my email address is a live email address and is accepting emails before I'm added to your mailing list. It's quite common for single opt-in lists to be polluted by automated bots that just put random garbage into your email marketing list. This is really bad, but it's really easy to fix. Again, with Email Blaster, we've got a handy little widget that will create a double opt-in form for your website that makes this light work. It's really quick and easy. The next area that we can look at is to re-qualify your list of addresses. Now, the most successful email marketeers will all do this already. You just spend a little bit of time calling the people in your list and just making sure that the address that you've got on file is the best address to use. Check that people haven't left the company and things like that. It's worthwhile doing this every 3 or 4 months, something like that, just to make sure that your list is completely up to date. So in summary, we've now got a good understanding of what the two types of bounces are and how to deal with them effectively. Now, if you've got access to decent email marketing software, a lot of the things that we've outlined will all be done automatically inside the software, making email marketing a quick and easy way that you can communicate effectively with your list of subscribers. Now, if you're not already an Email Blaster customer, head along to the website and open up a trial account. It's completely free to try it. Have a look, see what you think, and see what it can do for your email marketing. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check back for other videos in the series.